Sent his colleague, Mr. Abbas Mirza. Mr. Mirza, would you please come up to the stage as well? Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Shamshad Nabi to come and say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. I would like to congratulate AlHuda Center for Islamic Banking and Economics for holding this conference. With such eminent speakers and participants participating in this conference, I am very confident that, inshallah, this conference will be very successful. I am very happy to note that the asset management industry is participating very actively in this conference. The member institutions of the Mutual Funds Association of Pakistan have played a very active role in developing products for investment which are not only fully Sharia compatible, but they also provide very competitive and very attractive returns. In fact, for some of the Sharia compatible funds like stock funds, investors who do not normally invest in Sharia compatible products, they are also beginning to actively invest in Sharia compatible stock funds. To conclude, once again, I wish all success to this conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Abbas Mirza, please come. Thank you.
I'm representing Karachi Stock Exchange on behalf of Nadeem Naqvi, who is the managing director. He couldn't make it, unfortunately. So I'm going to first of all start with congratulating AlHuda for conducting such events on a regular and frequent basis. It is my pleasure to be here. We have witnessed that growth of financial industry, Islamic finance industry, and it's growing at an exponential speed. The growth requires development and need for actually investing in the human resource development as well, and I need a tremendous need for development human resource in the Islamic finance sector. Karachi Stock Exchange, we have the KMI, which is Karachi Stock Exchange, and Mizan Index, which is reflecting 30 companies on the Karachi Stock Exchange, which are approved by the Sharia board as well. There are certain initiatives that Karachi Stock Exchange is taking, such as we are in coordination with and contact with a lot of exchanges, including the Bursa Malaysia, for introducing Islamic products, and we would like to see a lot many sakuks coming in, listing themselves, and providing and facilitating the Islamic finance industry a option. Need for awareness is very important. And I think AlHuda and others also should step in, and participants of this conference should also join hands to create stronger and wider awareness in our market sector. KSC offers a lot of opportunities for raising capital, and these Islamic finance companies should actually take the benefit of it and raise their capital, coming into investing in themselves with Karachi Stock Exchange, and we'll be facilitating them. Thank you very much, and I congratulate AlHuda for holding such events, and expect that they will hold it more frequently inside Pakistan and abroad also. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite the chief guest, Mr. Asif Arif, who's the Commissioner of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I'm going to say a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Zubair Sahab, Salimullah Sahab, Irfan Siddiqui Sahab, Abbas, my dear friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be here and share my thoughts with this august gathering. I congratulate AlHuda Center for Islamic Banking and Finance for arranging this conference and appreciate their initiative to discuss the challenges and opportunities ahead for managing the growth of Islamic financial markets. The Constitution of Pakistan states that the state is responsible to eliminate riba as early as possible, and the state is also under the obligation to take steps to enable the Muslims of Pakistan to carry out their lives in accordance with the fundamental principles and basic concepts of Islam. We are aware that our religion, Islam, prohibits us to engage in activities, instruments, institutions, systems which hurts or affects transparency, ethics, and socio-economic justice in the society. Therefore, being an Islamic nation and also obligated by our constitution, we carry this responsibility on our shoulders to work and assist each other for the establishment of a society which by large adheres to the principle of Sharia. We at large are aware of the non-Islamic practices and riba aspect of financial institutions in our country and around the world. One thing which is of primary importance is Sharia compliance. I believe that growth of Islamic financial systems rests in strict adherence to the principle of Sharia. Sharia compliant financial industry is the niche we need to explore and improve with the passage of time. Islamic economic system is not just about the provision of interest. It also promotes values such as accountability, transparency, and social responsibility. After weathering the recent financial crisis rather well, as compared to the conventional counterparts, Islamic financial institutions are increasingly becoming popular. Perhaps the world has seen beyond the element of religion and view Islamic financial system as ethics at the core and has linkages with the real economic activities with internal shock absorbing mechanism. From the humble origin, Islamic financial industry today exists around the globe, catering not only to the financial requirements of Muslims, but non-Muslims as well. Ladies and gentlemen, now the question arises, what we need to do to meet the present day challenges of Islamic financial institutions, which can provide the platform for future growth. In my humble opinion, there are three aspects. We need to have more Sharia advisors, scholars who understand the requirements of modern financial systems and have the capacity to develop solutions to meet the need of Islamic financial institutions. Number two, we need to have and train our financial experts to provide them with the in-depth knowledge of Sharia principles applicable to finance and industry. Thus, we have to create linkage between the scholars and the professionals. I feel that in these two areas, AlHuda and all other such institutions, organizations have to work a lot more. And the regulators and the industry have to provide them all the support to achieve this goal. One very important aspect is that the regulator have to play a very vital role, as they have to create policies which foster the growth of Islamic financial institutions and increases the common man's confidence in the Islamic financial systems. The regulator has to work as a bridge between the Sharia scholars and the financial professionals to ensure that new avenues are explored for the growth of Islamic financial sector without compromising on the Sharia principles. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel that this conference is being arranged in Pakistan. I must share with you what is happening in Pakistan Islamic finance industry. But I will confine myself to the role of regulators in Pakistan. In the financial sector, we have two regulators. First, State Bank of Pakistan, which regulates the banks. Number two, Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan, which regulates all other entities except bank, including non-banking financial institutions and insurance companies. First, I will share with you what has been the role of State Bank of Pakistan in promoting Islamic banking, and then I will come to SECP. The State Bank of Pakistan introduced a comprehensive legal, regulatory and Sharia compliance network for Islamic banking and allowed three types of institutional models for operating banking services. First, full-fledged Islamic banks. Second, Islamic banking subsidiaries of conventional banks. Third, standalone Islamic banking branches of conventional banks. This approach has worked well, and the industry, starting from a scratch in 2001, has gradually improved its share to more than 8.5% of the country's banking system. The Islamic banking system is growing at more than 35% per annum, which is a very good sign for this country and shows that the steps taken by State Bank of Pakistan are proving right. Now I will speak about the SECP. It is the SECP's vision to promote the orderly development of a financially strong and transparent Islamic financial market, thereby increasing the outreach of Sharia-compliant financial products in this predominantly Islamic country. We see our role not only as a regulator, but mainly as a facilitator. We have taken many important steps in order to translate our vision into reality. The SECP had earlier proposed introduction of an Islamic index at the stock exchange for the purpose of promoting listing of Sharia-compliant companies on the Pakistani stock market and encouraging international and local players to list and trade their Sharia-based shares instrument on Islamic index. As mentioned by Abbas, the Karachi Stock Exchange launched the KMI 30 index in 2008, which comprises of 30 companies that qualify the KMI Sharia screening criteria and are weighted by float adjusted market capitalization. The index is rebalanced biannually. A Sharia board under the chair of a learned scholar has been formed. An index policy committee and a technical committee have also been constituted for the purpose. The SECP, in its 3-year strategic plan for the development of Pakistan capital market, has envisaged consideration of existing Islamic institutions and development of innovative Sharia-compliant institutions, products and services in order to deepen the capital market and attract both national and international pool of resources. Efforts are being focused on creating a viable market for effective mobilization of Islamic funds. Extensive research is carried out to introduce global mainstream Islamic products to Pakistan capital market so that investors can enjoy benefit of Sharia compliant investment alternatives. We are deliberating on the idea of an Islamic product electronic platform to be set up at the stock exchanges. The Islamic funds as Sharia compliant securities, including shares, sukuk, ijara, as may be approved by the Sharia advisors of such funds, are being offered in the market and supervised by the SCCP. These funds are offered under the same categories as those of conventional funds. Sukuk certificates are gaining popularity in the Islamic capital markets globally. To enable fundraising from the market through issuance of these Sharia-compliant financial instruments, necessary regulatory framework is being developed. This will assist in attracting investors towards riba-free investment avenues and the development of Islamic capital market in Pakistan. Currently, there are 30 Islamic mutual funds in Pakistan, which makes up roughly 13% of total mutual funds market in Pakistan. Total assets under the management of assets management companies managing Islamic funds in Pakistan are roughly 50 billion rupees as of February 2012. The recent global financial crisis has brought us an opportunity for the Mudarba sector to position itself as a stable form of financial institution. It is worth mentioning that despite the financial and economic crisis in the country, most of the Mudarba companies performed well in 2011. The SCCP is committed to promoting growth in the Mudarba sector. We are also reviewing and revisiting the regulatory framework for Mudarba to make it more comprehensive so that more operational flexibility is available to market participants. This mainly includes amendment in the Mudarba ordinance and rules. The prudential regulation for Mudarbas are also being reviewed to bring harmony between the regulatory framework for financial institutions working under the NBFC regime and the Mudarba. As mentioned by Mr. Salimullah Sahab, the State Bank and the SCCP have established a joint forum for the development of Islamic financial services in the Pakistan. We expect that with this cooperation between SCCP and the State Bank of Pakistan, we will have more coherent policies between SCCP and State Bank of Pakistan. Recently, guidelines to promote Musharaka and Mudarba financing by Islamic banking institutions prepared by SCCP were discussed and necessary input was provided to them. The application of Zakat and Workers' Welfare Fund on Mudarba certificate has also been attempted to be streamlined. The voluntary pension rules were notified in 2005, and since then a number of changes have been taken place in the market. Therefore, amendments were drafted to allow operational flexibility to pension fund managers, to enhance their role and provide more freedom of choice of participants, to ensure that investors' interests are protected. The shareholders' consultation revealed the need that the investment policy for the pension funds be revised to facilitate orderly growth of the private pension funds industry. The amendment in per sector exposure limit for conventional and Sharia compliant pension fund has been highlighted as one of the recommendations, while the increase in weighted average time to maturity of assets of Sharia compliant money market sub funds from 90 days to 1 year being another. It was envisaged to allow permission to Sharia compliant money market sub funds to invest in government ijara sukuk with maturity up to 3 years. the takaful industry in Pakistan is seen to be coming out of its infancy and moving towards a mature stage. Currently, there are 5 takaful operators authorized to operate in Pakistan. 3 of them are